Murphy breaks off, and joining me in the commentary box for this one is Stephen Hallworth. I think on paper, Stephen, this is the most attractive group we've seen so far in the tournament.
Yes, good afternoon everybody. I could not agree more with you, Phil. Without a shadow of a doubt, this group is definitely the best on paper. 4 players could quite easily win this group. Don't write this man off, James Cahill, at the table. As you say, nicknamed the Giant Killer for a reason. He's had some brilliant scalps in his short career so far. But Shaun, Murphy, Dave Gilbert, Tepchaiya, 3 superb players. I've been very excited to see this one. It'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
The slide double kissed did Cahill no favours there, especially if he's left the red just below the black.
Well,
what a great early chance this is for the Magician. Nicely in around the black spot. A couple of open reds as well. Looking to get straight into that pack. He's opened up a few reds, but he may have just covered the one to the middle.
8.
Well, he was okay. So on he goes. And now this is a really good chance.
He came through his first group with a 100% record. Made a very good start, actually, in beating Andrew Paget 3-0. Then he beat Lucas Kleckers 3-1. And Tian Peng Fei by the same score, but he didn't really display his best in those last couple of matches. Indeed, against Kleckers, there was a possibility it might have only been a draw.
$23.
Not quite a full pocket to aim for here. Excellent.
24.
Yeah, that was a very nice pot actually from Shaun Murphy. As you say, he didn't really have a clear line through to the pocket and could not have played it any better. Trusted his line and picked it perfect. And another nicely played delicate cannon. So already Shaun Murphy at the table,
30.
in for the early kill in this opening frame.
$32.
We say it all the time, but it really is true. This opening game in this Championship League, in this format, is so important. If you get off to a good start, get a win, you feel like you're sitting pretty straight away. And quite the opposite, if you lose the opener, you're almost chasing results for the rest of the day, and a little bit of you is
37.
sort of relying on results as well to go your way. It's not a great place to be. It's not a good mindset to be in.
38.
We only had 2 3-0 results yesterday. They were in the opening matches on the 2 tables. And just to prove what Stephen was saying, Rob Milkins beat John Astley 3-0 in one match. On table 2, Noppon Sankarn beat Liu Hongyu
45.
3-0 in the other, and both Milkins and Sankarn went on to top the table.
46.
In the opening phase against Andrew Paget, as I said before, Murphy was off to a flyer. He would love to duplicate that. He beat Paget 3-0 in no time with breaks of 79, 110 and 83.
$51. $52. $59.
The red he just looked at to the right-hand middle pocket theoretically will pot. But it's such a small target that he
60.
did absolutely the right thing there. Because if he can pot the pink and the one genuinely loose red, you'll only need one more colour to win this frame in one visit.
And that was a nice positional shot Shaun's just played there. He sort of had a little nod
66.
at the shot before he got down. Knew he was having to be pretty pinpoint with his positional play there. Navigated the cue ball nicely in and out of balk. Followed it up with a nice
67.
red. This has been a lovely break from Shaun.
And if it gets down to it, sizable breaks could be a tiebreaker. So he's setting a mark early and now getting right in behind the red he looked at earlier. That makes it a lot easier.
73. $74. $79. Shaun Murphy. 79.
The
On the
double
first frame.
is wide. First frame, you thought Cahill might get a little bit of practice on the table, get his arm going. Not the case, he concedes, and so Shaun Murphy makes a very agreeable start. You looked at the personnel involved today in both groups and you thought these are going to be tight
The fourth frame.
with twists and turns. Well,
James Cahill.
both matches currently in progress in groups D and A. Both have gone to a fourth frame. A vital fourth frame. Certainly applies here. If Murphy can get off to a winning start, he might be difficult to stop. For Dave Gilbert and Tepchai Anu coming up next in what should be another attractive affair. I think both of those will be hoping for a 2-all draw here.
Yeah, absolutely they will be, because that then leaves the door slightly ajar for one of them to go on and be the table topper, should they get the win in their match.
One.
Well, again, James Cahill does not mind playing a shot left-handed, and he could not have played that any better. That was a super fine cut. And look at the control. So difficult to do with your opposite hand when you've not quite got the touch. He couldn't have played that any better. And this is a nice early chance in this frame to at least build a good lead and put the pressure on Shaun.
Yes, not just spotting that red, he had to avoid two others. He completely missed one of them and just faintly skimmed off the other. That's why he gained position, and this is promising.
Thanks. 7. Eight.
The black nicely available, and after this shot may clear it into both pockets. They can just run through and get on the red. Just to the right of the black, well, playing it into the same pocket. So this is really going to open things up for James Cahill. There is a red available at the back of the pack as well that just having a little look at now. He can leave himself low on that, play a shot where you can bring some other reds into play as well. So already planning his route.
60.
I think if you're going to get something out of this group today, particularly this group on table 1, you're going to have to score heavy. We say it all the time how important it is to score heavy at this level, but the three other players to James Cahill in this group are such tremendous scorers. James is going to have to compete in that department, try and kill off the frames as quickly as possible. And playing shots like this is going to help him along that way. Potting a red, bringing more into play.
$24.
No good. For a split second, I thought the cue ball might be running in off. 0 position.
Yeah, playing the topspin, you never quite know where the cue ball is going to finish. You're just unsure slightly as to how much response you're going to get out of the white and what sort of cannon you're going to get off the pack, and the cue ball's absolutely flown through the reds. Could have been perfect. He's opened the reds nicely, but he's not on a colour, so needs to play a good safety shot here. Oh, and he's got away with one. He's just flicked the red. He didn't intend to.
24.
These groups in the second phase now, involving all first phase group winners. Keenly contested, as you might imagine, with the 2 matches going on at the moment included. That's 12 consecutive matches over the course of yesterday and today, where 3-0s have been absent.
Worth noting as well for James, yes, he's got his work cut out today, but this is effectively the last 32 of a ranking event. Should he win his group today, it'll be the quarterfinals, and that'll be his first quarterfinal of his career. 3 times he's been in the last 16 of a ranking event. So there's a lot at stake today for James.
Yeah, really good observation that, Stephen. And I'm not sure whether it officially goes down as a quarterfinal. It should do, because it's the same principle if you're in the last 8.
Yeah, it's a strange little scenario really, because when you're out there playing, you wouldn't be thinking about that, but Effectively, it is the last date of a ranking event, and even if you do make it through to Friday, I presume you won't be thinking about being in the quarterfinals. You can win that group on Friday, and all of a sudden you are in a ranking final. That's what is at play here.
Yes, because it's a knockout. If you do get to the title showdown, that does count as a ranking final appearance. Lots of snooker to go before then. Four players already into finals day. Chris Wakelin, Rob Milkins, Nopon Sankar, Mark Williams.
Murphy's played a really nice safety shot there. Thin edge on the red. Could not have played it any better. Got his pace absolutely spot on. He's cut off the left side of the table for James with the yellow. May have to just play this with a trace of side. Or perhaps coming off the top cushion, trying to catch the red thin. Yeah, that's a very tough shot from there.
Shaun Murphy. Yeah.
And on the way down towards the top cushion, Stephen, there was no likelihood whatsoever that he was going to make contact with that.
No, he needs much more side on the cue ball for that shot, and of course that then increases your chances of overcompensating and catching the red nice and full, leaving your opponent down the business end of the table.
Yeah, Shaun. Yeah.
This will be a very good shot if James can pull this one off. Well, that's not bad from there. That's a good shot from James, and Shaun will tap the table.
Yeah, the end position worth 4 points of anyone's money. Similar kind of exchange going on in the fourth frame on table 2. Michael Holt and Zhou Yulong battling away, safety-wise, trying to force an opportunity. And that's exactly the same thing here. Good attempt, but that was a low percentage for me. And now Murphy right in amongst them.
Yeah, he spent a couple of minutes there, James, just pondering over what to do. It was a percentage shot, but not necessarily in James's favour. He was bound to stick everything up for Shaun Murphy. Had he missed it, he has missed it, and this is a fantastic chance now for Shaun Murphy to go on and clinch this frame and the match with it. It was a tough pot on the red for James. Always difficult when they're so close to the side rail, especially over that sort of distance.
Now he's missed a couple of shots, not unlike this.
8. 9.
Could not have been more authoritative. That tells us the red next to the pink will pot. In turn, completely freeing the pink.
60.
I think he wanted to be slightly straighter on it though.
Yeah, may have to just play up for blue here. Shouldn't be an issue for Shaun though. Plenty of open reds available for him.
70.
See how ultra self-critical these top players are. He was half a ball's roll away from being perfect on the red, and a little shake of the head because it was an elementary positional shot from Shaun. Just demand the highest of
20.
standards from themselves. But this is a great chance now.
23.
I think Shaun will win the frame at this visit.
I think with this format we see it time and again, there's no breathers,
28.
no let up. Every frame, every visit, there's pressure on.
$29.
He's just taking his time, is Shaun. He's not been quite as fluent as we're used to seeing him. Usually he's very quick round the table. He's almost slowed his stride down just a fraction. Well, I'm not sure about that shot.
35.
This red is very, very thin now.
$36.
Held the cue ball nicely. But prime position still to be restored.
$38. $39.
Yeah, he's definitely just taking an extra second, is Shaun. Even his cueing when he's down at the table. We're used to seeing that laser-like action. So fluent. He's definitely just taking a second, possibly just trying to ease himself into this today. Try not to do anything daft in this opening game. Just really give everything to getting the 3 points. And as the day goes on,
45.
it'll certainly be a match for everyone.
That was well conceived, coming off a couple of cushions. One red in, another
46.
open. And now pretty much everything open.
$53.
So it was that brave red that James decided to take on that let Shaun in for this chance. Break goes to 53. 33 points to the good is Shaun Murphy. Can't see him going wrong from here. He's taken these nicely, steadied himself throughout the break, and it looks like he's going to have done enough to take the 3 points.
The only thing I'll say, he missed a black like this earlier on, overcutting it. I think he's wise actually to take the pink. Frame and match ball coming up.
60. 61.
We can't really second guess James Cahill. Had the red gone in, we would have been praising him to the hilt. It was risky though, and he's paid the price.
Yeah, it was one of those shots where the safety shot was probably just as hard as the pot attempt, and you know, if you go for the safety shot and you butcher it, you wish you'd have gone for the red, and similarly if you go for the red and you miss it, you wish you'd have played the safety shot. That's what makes this game so interesting and so infuriating for players at times.
$44 the difference, 35
Shaun
on the
Murphy.
table.
60.
That means he needs 3 snookers, but obviously there's always the possibility with a red left of getting a free ball. Murphy just wants to knock this in, go upstairs, have a short rest, and then play match 3 of this session against Tepchara Nu. Have to wait a while though.
Foul. Shaun Murphy 6.
That's
Right,
that though
come back.
now.
Thanks, James.
Shaun Murphy defeats James Cahill by 3 frames to 1. He started off with a break of 79 in the first frame, made 51 in the third, and a